We have a special relationship with the Bridgwater and Taunton Canal in that where we live on a ridge overlooking the Somerset levels, we see the canal stretching across our horizon, so we see it changing through the seasons.
What we'll be looking for is a part of the canal where we can get not only the sun but a nice clear reflection of the sun as well, which is one of the reasons why we particularly like to make solagraphs on the canal.
This is a way of experiencing the canal. We walk along the canal looking for the views and vistas and places to leave the little cameras.
It's like the ultimate in lazy photography because you put them there and then you can go off and do other things, which I really like.
Because people are generally going to the canal to relax, people tend to sort of slow down. We find that if we're hanging around with the large format camera, people often stop and chat. They're intrigued by the camera. Well, solagraphy, in its simplest terms, is just a means of recording periods of time that are very difficult to perceive otherwise. We're used to the idea of high-speed photography, capturing that small transient moment in time, whereas solagraphy is actually the opposite of that. It's trying to capture a period of time that's so slow, us as humans don't really perceive it.
So it's not photography in its truest sense, but it's capturing the image of the sun passing across the sky.
The process itself is very analogue.
And we've got two different methods in which we use to capture it. The first is the pinhole camera method, which are the ones where we are able to leave the cameras out to capture an ultra-long exposure, which might be anywhere between 3 and 6 months.
They're extremely simple, probably the most simple kind of cameras you can make.
All they are a small plastic pot with a piece of photographic paper inside, a pinhole at the front, and that's all there is to them. But then we've also used a camera with a lens in order to capture what we call a day solograph, which might be a sunrise or a sunset.
We kind of feel that we're not photographers, it's effectively nature is making the picture. We're merely allowing nature to do that.
When you leave a pinhole camera in particular outside for a certain length of time, you can't predict how much moisture is going to get in. You just don't know what you're going to get, and we've had some really interesting images where we have had water damage or slippage, and it's actually made the image more beautiful.
That's what we love about it. It's so unpredictable. It can be really quite abstract, but not planned at all.
And it's all about what you might get rather than what you're aiming to get. So you don't need a traditional darkroom to process these images. You simply need a dark space.
That's the big advantage of not needing photographic chemicals. All we need is a little dark space to go and hibernate in.
We developed them in the jam cupboard. We have this rather amazing thing on the Bridgwater and Taunton Canal, which is a scale model of the solar system, starting with an enormous sun at Maunsell Loch, continuing with models of the planets at scale that go along the canal all the way out towards Taunton and Bridgwater.
I guess it's quite a pleasant coincidence through our practice of making these solagraphs, recording effectively the way the Earth moves around the sun.
We're so used to seeing the solar system in textbooks as this quite close, ordered layout, I suppose, but this really just shows you the craziness of the scale. We found this amazing quote in H.G. Wells's The Time Machine, which refers to the sun moving in a brilliant arch, which is a really perfect description of what you can see the sun doing. It's a very mathematical, very regular pattern that it moves in, and what's lovely about making solagraphs is that it reminds you that the sun and the earth are doing this and going about their thing no matter what we are doing. And I really like that reminder of the permanence of that, of the planets, of geological time and the permanence of that, regardless of what we little human ants are getting on with. It's just a lovely excuse to stop. If you're making a solograph, it allows you just to stay in one place, watch the water, watch the world go by, and it's rare that you get that chance to really stop. This gives us a perfect excuse.